Our next question is from the line of Christian Helen from Fact or Fake fan pages. Please proceed.
Hello.
Hello,
Christiane Elin. Hi, Devin. Nice to finally talk to you. Well, I am here representing the fans, so I asked the fans what they wanted to know today. So here's some questions. Because I know that we don't really have a lot of background about you, Mr. Marble, so they wanted to know if you're into the paranormal and what's your experience with the paranormal?
My paranormal background kind of started as a kid. It's no different than anybody else's as far as like my curiosity as what happened. Except for I always used to when I was I must have been 10 or 11, and I went out and spent the $100 of my allowance on these little two-way radios, headsets that I could use to see if I could find any, paranormal type sound waves or radio waves. I really wasn't sure what I was looking for, but I wanted to hear something different. And ever since then, it's just exponentially grown. So it's kind of like a curiosity. Absolutely, I'm very interested in the paranormal. And my experiment background and my technology background is very much trial and error and making a mistake and doing it again and taking new technology and using it in unique ways to test, to see if something is possibly there. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, that answered Miss Adric 2 from Twitter's question. So the next question is from Amy A. McCrossan on Twitter, and she wanted to know, do you get any information in regards to when Fact or Fake will be airing in other parts of the world? I've been getting a lot of questions about UK, when Fact or Fake will be back.
And this is Ben. This is Ben. I think that's probably whatever part of the world that they're in, they just need to contact the network that airs it and ask them, because I hear about it usually the same time they do. I try to follow them on Twitter as well, but it surprises me. One day I'll get online and see that, we're in 3 more countries and our voice is being dubbed over in German or something. So it's not even, I could be mistaken, but I don't know if it's even necessarily coordinated with Syfy NBC here in the U.S. as to all the little details, because they handle kind of their own programming. So I would suggest they just contact that particular station and they can get the information.
Okay, great. Because if you knew before me, I would like to know too, because I get those questions all the time. The next question, this one's an interesting one. It's from Brenda on SMA. Her name is Amber. Anyway, she says, can anyone actually believe while trying to debunk something they are recreating? It's kind of confusing. They're recreating that they said scenario to its full extent. So basically what you guys are doing. Do you think that you can debunk something? Do you think that you're actually debunking something? Well, I know you guys don't even use the word debunking necessarily, because that's not what you're doing. You're recreating. So do you think that just recreating, I mean, can you come to a decisive answer, fact or fake, with just recreating?
Absolutely. This is it. It's absolutely possible. That doesn't mean that it happens every single time. And that's definitely the goal. But in some cases, when we do an experiment, sometimes we find that it's so easy to recreate something, sometimes even on our first try, that suddenly the possibility of it being this real paranormal event starts to, take a step aside. That doesn't necessarily mean it's not, because unless we personally have seen that UFO fly over our head and, can prove it, I think that many experiments keep a big question mark with a 90% debunk ratio, you know. But I do want to say that there are times when I feel like it's almost like an impact when the experiments point one direction, but the eyewitness testimony is so compelling. And there's no reason not to believe this person. When you look at him in the eyes and you know, this person is not lying, it makes you wonder what really is going on.
This has been, you're right. I mean, this kind of creates a lively debate because I think we have different definitions, first of all, of when people say debunk or they say skeptical or they say believer. What our show aims to do is simply apply the scientific method. You know, this goes back to junior high or even elementary school science class. It's fairly simple that, you know, the scientific method starts out with you should try to maintain a neutrality as to what you believe the outcome is going to be until you develop a hypothesis, you develop a theory, and then you develop experiments to test that theory. So we try our best, I should say, to not go into a case saying, I'm going to set out to prove that this guy is hoaxing us. Right. That wouldn't be adhering to true scientific principle. So I don't like the word debunk. Right. That's not what we're set to do. All we're doing is we're saying, let's start with the simplest explanation. If that tends to be the most correct, like Occam's razor, let's start with that. If it's not that, let's try something more complex. If it comes out, passes all the tests and replication, then that leaves the possibility, a strong possibility of it being paranormal. So, in a way, we're validating a paranormal, and we're just trying to screen out what isn't, and doing kind of the footwork for the audience.
And that's why I like the show. Okay, so another questions from the fans, from one of our favorite fans, the Washington Ghost Hunters. And this is for Devin. They wanted to know, what do you look forward to, or what have you looked forward to, and how's your experience been being the newest member of After Fate?
I look forward to another season. That's what I look forward to. First season has been a blast, literally. Battle LA, the first episode of Fact or Fake, will be a literal blast. I look forward to more instances of really, really compelling stories and experiments that point to a question mark. And I know a lot of people would say, oh, I look forward to experiments that prove it wrong or prove it right. But I'm excited to get those experiments that I did everything I could. We've done everything we can, and for some reason, we're not getting the answer that we need. That's exciting.
I'll take another season of Order 2. How about 3? How about 5? One of the other questions from Little Girl Gray on Twitter, she asked if those weird, scary, white walking things, if we'll see more of those. And what she's referring to is the case that we can't stop talking about are the night crawlers. Can you tell us if they'll be back?
This is Ben. If they like the night crawlers, stay tuned towards the end of this 6th, and you'll see something very strangely similar to that night crawler in Fresno. So that's all I'm going to say about it.
Don't give too much away. So final question. So if anybody else wants to get on here, this is actually my question. What would you like most? Well, who would you like most to follow you on Twitter? This could be living, dead, whoever.
Who would I like most to tweet?
No, who would you like most to follow you on Twitter?
Well, I know who would give you the most followers would probably be Charlie Sheen at the moment.
I'm already following him. I don't know that gets anywhere, but yeah. I would like to be followed by Bill Nye the Science Guy.
That's true. He's a pretty harsh critic.
I actually rated him as pretty good.
Are you there?
Yeah, I did.
This is Ben. I'm not exactly sure. I know that Mythbusters was invited, by the president to do a joint show and with his kids to test something. So I think if the president or someone contacted us, I'd be up for that.
Okay, I wanted to thank you guys for taking my call, and thank Erica for letting me be a part of this. And I can't wait till 1 week from today.
Well, thank you. Thanks for all you're doing.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.